All right, boys and girls, we're going to do math message. This is 1-10. And in this lesson, we are going to use strategies to multiply one-digit numbers by 2, by 5, and by 10. All right, let's start out by looking at these pictures of dots and see if you can figure out how many dots there are without counting each one. So I'm going to show some dots. You pause the video real quick, see if your brain can quickly get how many dots there are, and then restart the video. All right, how many dots did you see? All right, hopefully you saw 10 dots. And how did you see those 10 dots? You probably noticed that there were two groups and there were 5 dots in each group, so that you know that 5 plus 5 is 10. All right, how about this picture? How many did you see? You probably saw 8. And a lot of times in class, when boys and girls share with what they saw 2 columns with 4 dots in each column. And you know that 4 plus 4 is 8. And in that picture, what did you see? You probably saw 12. Or that's what you should have seen, hopefully. And probably your brain saw 6 dots over here and 6 dots over here. And 6 plus 6 is 12. Let's get ready for the last one. What did your brain see on that one? And in that one, you probably saw 16. And again, there were 8 dots on one side, 8 dots on the other side, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So here's a picture of all the ones that we did. The first one you saw 5 and 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. Now what you saw was 2 groups of 5. And what did we say that word groups of means? When you hear groups of, you should automatically think multiplication. 2 groups of 5 is 2 times 5 equals 10. Over here, most of the boys and girls saw 2 groups of 4. And they saw 8 because 4 plus 4 is 8. Down here, we saw 2 groups of 6. And 2 groups of 6, 6 over here plus 6 over here equals 12. And here we saw 2 groups of 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So what do you notice about each one of these problems? Hopefully you notice that each one of those problems has the number 2. We call this a factor in multiplication, and we'll learn more about that as the year goes on. Each one of these problems had a 2 in it because every single one of them, we said, was 2 groups. These are multiplication problems that are our times 2 facts. And times 2 facts are going to be very, very easy for us to memorize right away in the year because they're just doubles facts. If I have 2 groups of 5, it's just 5 plus 5. If I have 2 groups of 4, it's just 4 plus 4, and so on. So anytime we have times 2, it's just a doubles fact. And we already know those from 1st and 2nd grade. So now we know anything times 2. We're just going to double that other number. Now let's look at this. What is this? This is a dime. And how much is a dime worth? A dime is worth 10 cents. So I need you to go to your workbook, and I need you to get onto this page right here. And I'm not really sure what page that is. Okay, and that is page 21. So if you need to pause the video real quick, get page 21 ready. All right, so let's start filling out this chart. The first one is done for us. We have 2 dimes, so you're going to go ahead. They drew 2 dimes for us, and if we had 2 groups and each one of them was 10 cents, that would equal 20 cents, right? Okay, and the next one, we're going to draw 4 dimes. Okay, just put a 10 in each one. Now let's write the multiplication number model that goes with that. What do you see? I see 4 groups of 10. Now what would that equal if you had 4 dimes? I'll bet many of you just went 10, 20, 30, 40, right? We can count by tens and get 40. All right, go ahead, pause the video and do the other 2 and then start the video back. Okay, in that next one you had 5 dimes. I know they're each worth 10. I'm not going to waste time putting all the 10s in right now just to make this video faster. So I had 5 groups of 10. Now when you counted each of those dimes, what did you come up with? 50 cents. And then the next one I had 10 dimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had 10 groups of 10. And when I counted each one of those, what did that equal? That equaled 100 cents, which is the same thing, boys and girls, as $1. Now, what do you notice with each of these problems? First of all, I hoped you noticed that they were all times 10 facts, right? Times 10, times 10, times 10, times 10. The next thing I want you to notice is when I multiplied 10 times 4, I got 4 with a 0. When I did 5 times 10, I had 5 with a 0. And when I did 10 times 10, I had 10 with a 0. So that's a real quick trick and strategy. When you have any number times 10, I always have a little chant I say, when I multiply by 10, put a 0 on the end. So if I have 8 times 10, okay, I just put my 8 with a 0. Okay, so anytime you multiply by 10, you take the other number and you just put a 0 on it. So let's think about this. What about 25 times 10? What do you think 25 times 10 would be? When I multiply by 10, put a 0 on the end. 25 with a 0 on the end would be 250. Okay, so now we know our times 2 facts. Those are just our doubles facts. And now we know our times 10 facts. Those are just put a 0 on the end. So look how fast already we know some of our multiplication facts really, really fast. Next thing I want you to do is look at this. What is this? Okay, this is a nickel. And what is a nickel worth? A nickel is worth 5 cents. So now let's look at our chart at the bottom here. And let's go ahead and fill in this chart just like we did the chart above. So we're going to draw 4 nickels. And each one of them is worth 5 cents. So now I have 4 groups of 5. Now how can I figure out how much that equals? If I touch them, 5, 10, 15, 20, right? I can count by 5s real quick. I learned how to do that probably in kindergarten, 1st grade. So 4 times 5 equals 20. Go ahead and do the next 2 and then pause the video and then come back to me. Okay, so in the next one I had 5 nickels. Each one of these is worth 5 cents. I had 5 groups of 5 equals, if I touch each one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. All right, and then I had 10 nickels. So I have 10 groups of 5. And I can touch each one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Or I could have said, oh wait, that was multiplying by 10. So I'm going to take the other number and put a 0 on the end. Okay? So now, hopefully what you notice with these ones is everything we just did was times 5. What was a real quick way to figure out what the answer was? Count by 5s, right? We know how to count by 5s very, very quickly. So anytime you have anything times 5, you're just going to take the other number and you're going to count by 5s. Okay? So if I have 8 times 5, all right, I've got times 5. I'm going to take the other number. I could even put fingers up if I wanted to and count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I would have 40. Okay, so now, boys and girls, at the end of this lesson, we worked on times 5, we worked on times 10, and we worked on times 2. Anything times 5, take the other number, count by 5s. Anything times 10, take the other number and put a 0 on the end. And anything times 2, take the other number and just double it. So I want you to now practice going through and doing problems times 2, times 5, and times 10. Now's the time to go to that dollar store, go to that Dollar Tree, get some flashcards or get some scrap paper and make yourself some flashcards. Right now, the only ones I need you practicing are the times 5s, the times 10s, and the times 2 facts. All right, and that is it for this lesson, boys and girls.